welcome to day 1/2 of Vlogmas. Thought I'd give it a whirl, see what happens. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I did today and also some Christmas kind of decorations, if you will, that I made last year that I thought could be fun to talk about. So let me have some tea. And I'm going to link any of the things I talk about below that I can link, because I cannot remember for the life of me who the woman is that designed these patterns, and I should have been more organised and looked, so sorry. But number one, and also I realised that because I come from England originally, we have Christmas puddings, and they are a dessert that one has after dinner, after Christmas dinner, and they're like a rich fruit steamed sponge, like a steamed cake, and they have like a sauce that goes over them, and sometimes people put alcohol on them and set them on fire, and they're also cooked in alcohol. I'm doing a terrible job at explaining this, but anyone British, write down below how to explain a Christmas pudding. But it wasn't until I made my epic Christmas jumper that I realised that most people don't know what Christmas puddings are, and I have basically just made decorations with Christmas puddings that people probably won't know what they are. But here is a Christmas pudding. Isn't it adorable? This was something I made last year, weirdly not at Christmas. I made this sometime in like the summer, I think, when I was learning to knit. And it's a Christmas pudding dishcloth that I don't have in my heart to actually use. If you watched my most recent podcast, you'll know that I had some issues with lighting, so I've added another lamp. I'm hoping it's not making circles in my glasses, but hopefully it'll be more bright. Hopefully. So yes, back to the dishcloth. So I'm thinking I might make another one so I can actually use it and not be so precious, because what am I going to do with this except like show it to you on the internet and then put it back down again? I could hang it, I suppose. But yeah, it's super cute. It was just made with cotton, and it has some very funky 3D action going on here. So I love it. And the other Christmas pudding themed item is my first needle punching, or punch needle. So it looks a bit odd because basically I hadn't learned how to sew at the point that I made this. So trying to sew the fabric onto this was a nightmare. I ended up having my mum help me because she could sew, and I think I'm going to have to give it another try, because looking at this now that I can sew, it's pretty bad. Sorry, my voice is going as I'm just recovering from being sick, and apparently my voice hasn't caught up with me yet. But this was made, it uses a monk's cloth, and then you use a special tool. I'll try and insert a picture if I can. A needle punch, or a punch needle, and you use that to make the patterns. And then you can make pillows or bags, cushions, etc. I really want to do more of this, but I can't get my hands on this monk's cloth. The one I found is really expensive, and because I don't really know what I'm doing exactly, like I'm still learning, I didn't want to spend so much money on the fabric. I just wanted to practice, and then when I had a proper project, like a big project, then I would fork out the dough for the fabric. And also you need quite a lot of wool, so overall it's kind of expensive, so I wanted to practice and then make a good one. Anyway, blabbing as per usual. So yes, a little cute, completely useless but adorable Christmas pudding. And as you already know, I have my epic Christmas jumper that I talked about on my last episode. There is a Christmas pudding theme to my life. And I've just dropped my knitting on the floor. Bear with. Mohair avalanche. Hoopla. And speaking of needle punch, completely un-Christmas related, but you may have seen them in my videos. So this was my second needle punch, and it's a dinosaur, if you can't tell. And it has some adorable dinosaur fabric on the back. This was going to be for my brother, but then I thought, what does a 30-plus-year-old man want with a cute dinosaur cushion? So I kept it. And the original one was this little guy, which I don't think you'll be able to see. And now that I have a tripod and you're miles away from me, I can't quite get close to you anymore or see if you're in focus. But if you're in focus, you're not going to be if I'm in focus. So yeah, very dodge sewing skills, more practice required. But this one I actually used jute, I think it's jute, or burlap perhaps to use, but it's a lot harder. If any of you guys out there are needle punch or punch needle makers, please let me know if you have sources for where to get fabric or which fabrics you like, because I would be very interested. Small interruption. So my final little Christmas decoration, that's a lie, I have another one. My second to final Christmas decoration, which is probably another British thing, is, because why wouldn't you need a little knitted Brussels sprout? So let me see if I can get closer. He's so cute. So this guy was a lot more hard work than I expected. It was very small, intricate little leaves, individual leaves that I added, because basically a Brussels sprout, if you don't know, it's like a miniature cabbage. So lots of little leaves, and then there was a little main ball in the middle. And again, it's made in cotton, and again, I was new to knitting, so it was all very new. There were central double creases and crazy things to me at the time. So I made, I think, 3 of these. I wanted to make a whole garland, but they took way too much energy. So I've made 3. They're very cute. And I wanted to make like a massive one, like this. But I was then asked why and what are you going to do with it? And I realised I have absolutely no idea. And it would just sit there, probably being completely in the way. So I have resolved to just having my little babies. And my final, this time it is the final little Christmas decoration that I made last year. I'll insert a video here because they are behind you and it's dark now, so I can't show you. They are, again, Christmas pudding, and I made them like a little garland or hanging with felt and googly eyes, because everything needs googly eyes, don't you agree? And completely non-Christmas related, but I am obsessed with anything that smiles, basically. Any smiling fruit or vegetable or cloud, anything that's smiling at me is welcomed into my life. And I love smiling avocados. I love anything with avocados on, and I have no idea why, but I have smiling avocados on my bedding, I have socks, I have underwear, I have pajamas, and now I have Christmas decorations with said Christmas hat. And I think they're adorable. Completely useless, but adorable. So I made them last year to try and get in the Christmas spirit, because I was a bit low last year, because usually I go back to the UK for Christmas, and of course I couldn't. So smiling avocados are the answer. So I made those. They're just some felt, cheap felt, and then I sewed them together, stopped the googly eyes, made little rosy cheeks, and ta-da! Wonderful Christmas decorations. So that's my little snippet of my Vlogmas Christmas decorations. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see if I record tomorrow or the next day. Bye!